What is up, guys? Python here, back with another video, and today we got a couple things to talk about when it comes to the New York Rangers. Nothing really, of course, official, except for one thing, but there's not much really. It's just all speculation and rumors for the most part when it comes to it, but we're still going to talk about it, break it down. I'm going to give my thoughts and reaction to what's going on with the New York Rangers. You can tell the big thing by the thumbnail and the title, but we're going to be talking about multiple different things with the Rangers, like I mentioned. So before we do that, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. We're going to cover the Rangers here heavily throughout the offseason, of course, and through next season, as we always do here. So definitely do that and turn your notifications on as well, so you know when I upload. But let's just dive into the bigger piece of news first. I guess we'll get that out of the way. I could have saved it for last, but no, let's just talk about that because I'm kind of excited. It gets me excited. So there was a report from Frank Saravelli that the New York Rangers are showing interest in center Nazem Kadri, who, of course, if you didn't know and you've been living under a rock, just won a Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche. So, yeah. And he wasn't just some depth guy. No, he was a huge factor in the Avalanche winning their Stanley Cup. There were times this season where he had to play on the top line because of injuries to McKinnon or Landeskog or Rantanen. There were times where either way he just played dominant hockey as a second line center, and he is obviously a free agent this summer, so he's gonna get big money. So the question, of course, is how the hell are the Rangers gonna fit him in the cap? No idea, but he is high on the Rangers list, and good GMs find their way around the cap. So I'm sure if Chris Drury was to give the bag to Nazem Kadri, he has a plan around fitting him into the salary cap. So I'm not worried from that standpoint, as most of you guys shouldn't be, regardless, unless this leads to serious roster problems where you got someone like Colin Blackwell again playing on the second line, or just the names that we had on the second line for a while. I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous. Like Dryden Hunt even last year. If you have guys like that, then yeah, we're going to have a problem. But however, I think that Chris Drury is going to make serious moves this offseason to push his team over the hump. And Nazem Kadri being high on the list, definitely, just so nice to hear the Rangers interested in a legit second line center. And a guy like that, I said with Pierre Dubois, I'm saying it again, just such a breath of fresh air to hear that we're not going to have the same garbage that we've had at center over the past few years. Ryan Strome, Lias Anderson. I mean, some of the names that we had, David Desharnais, like, are you kidding me? No, the Rangers are going to legit give Mika Zibanejad another guy down the middle with him. So Nazem Kadri, like I said, him being high on the list comforts me so much. He had, I think, over 90 points this season, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely could be a little alarming considering it's a one-off of something that he has done in the past. But in my opinion, with the way that he played in the playoffs, with the way that he plays hockey in general, I don't see this as a one-off. I think that he is legit, and I think that he is going to be worth the money that he gets, at least for the first part of the contract. And even then, by then, you'd have to hope the salary cap goes up, right? By year 4 or 5 of the deal, but no, in the NHL won't. But you have to hope at that point the salary cap goes up. But regardless, I would be all for the Rangers getting Nazem Kadri, and it would certainly be a huge upgrade at the 2C spot. And it's going to be a question, though. It is a little bit tougher now that he did win a Stanley Cup, because if he didn't win a Stanley Cup, he maybe would be more inclined to take maybe a bit of a discount to go to a contending team where the Rangers are right now. But now that he did win a Stanley Cup, maybe he is looking more towards financials, where he might be, all right, well, I'll go to the Philadelphia Flyers because I already won a Stanley Cup. Let me just get my money. Or I'll go to the Ottawa Senators because I already got my money. It's just that, or I already got a Stanley Cup. I just want to get more money. So it could be a bit of a tricky situation now for the Rangers because of the Avalanche winning the Stanley Cup. But it is something to keep an eye on, and it does comfort me. And Frank Saravelli is one of the bigger name reporters in the NHL. So I am definitely intrigued to see where the Rangers go in that regard, as we are pretty much, we're 10 days away now from free agency, actually. So it's going to be huge, and I'm going to be live streaming for free agency, by the way. So definitely be there for that. I probably will be live for the NHL draft. So that's pretty much it for the Nazem Kadri front. We're interested in him and he's high on the list. So, all right, good with me. Go out there and make the move. That's what I would like, but we'll have to wait and see if that's what they do. In terms of other things that I want to talk about, so Alexander Georgiev and Julian Gauthier ended up requesting trades. That is something that was newsworthy. Julian Gauthier, of course, requested a trade, and then he signed that 1 year, one-way contract at $800K. That raised some question marks and eyebrows at, like, what's going on here throughout Rangers Twitter. But I tweeted it out, and I'll say here, the reason that they signed Julian Gauthier is just because it makes it easier to move him, because if he has a contract already and a team doesn't have to negotiate, the team's going to want to trade for him. Simple as that. And that's what's going on with Julian Gauthier. I can't blame him for wanting out. He wants to get a full-time role on an NHL squad. So what will the Rangers get for him? I'm not too sure. Probably at most a 4th-round pick, you'd have to imagine. But even then, that's probably a stretch. I'd take whatever for him. I don't see Gauthier having a huge future with this team. But he will probably not be here next season. It was a trial and a huge fail there. It was a experiment, but a huge fail, that one, with Julian Gauthier. And it's unfortunate because he's someone that I really had high hopes for. I wanted Seattle to take Colin Blackwell over him because I really thought Gauthier was going to have a big season this past year, but he never ended up breaking out. And will he break out into that 1st-round pick that we thought he would? I wish nothing but the best for him wherever he goes. However, I really don't know if that's going to come to fruition. Maybe he'll be a good 30, 40-point guy. It's just that we know the issue with him. He just can't finish his opportunities. It's simple as that. Other than that, I mean, the guy does really good things. He draws penalties. He gets in on the forecheck. He's aggressive on the forecheck. I liked Gauthier, but he just never was able to produce the points, and that was always the issue with him. And in terms of Georgiev, yeah, see you later. That's all I got to say there. I know some fans have an emotional attachment to Alexander Georgiev, but to me, I have no emotional attachment whatsoever ever since he started just kind of being the way that he was in goal. I kind of just had a problem with his attitude all of this past season in particular. I noticed it where he'd let up a goal and then he would just have a complete hissy fit and just have a meltdown. And then next thing you know, you're down 4-0 in the game and the game's over. It's out of reach. Or he'll give you a Dominic Hasek type performance against the Carolina Hurricanes, stopping over, 40 or 50 shots. So yeah, with Georgiev, he is more times than not bad, but if he is good and he starts, he's really good. And I wish nothing but the best for him, except for when he's playing the Rangers, of course. But I wish nothing but the best for him wherever he goes. But obviously, it's not going to work here. He wants to be a starting goalie. He is not going to be that with Igor Shesterkin on the roster. So simple as that. And the Rangers, either way, I think need to look elsewhere towards a more veteran backup goalie situation. So I'm completely fine with it. And it was expected. And it's nice to see the asking price, the Rangers being firm with an asking price with Georgiev. It was something like a high draft pick and a mid to high level prospect, which I think is very good. You stay firm with a price, and I think that the Rangers should drag this out as long as they have to. Georgiev's an RFA. Let him be an RFA as long as he has to, unless, of course, a team offer sheets him, but I don't really see that happening. But again, be firm with your price and hold on to him as long as you could. And a team is going to get starving for goaltenders as Jack Campbell goes off the market, as Billy Husso, all these other goalies on the market, as they fall off the market and go elsewhere. A team will be like, all right, well, Georgiev's one of the only guys left. We got to pay what we got to pay. I think that's smart that the Rangers do that. And I think that maybe we could really see a promising piece in this return. So I'd like to see the Rangers take full advantage of that. And then the last bit of news is Kakko and Kravtsov apparently are open in the trade market. That doesn't surprise me. It shouldn't surprise you. And people are confused about that as well because Kakko, another guy, Vince Mercogliano, just reported, hey, aren't they nearing a bridge deal? What's going on there? Yes, but again, it's just like the Gauthier situation. If Kakko is attached to a contract, a team is going to be more inclined to trade for him because of the fact that he's already under contract. They know where he's going to fit in the salary cap. They don't have to negotiate contracts with him. That's just the way that this works. And it's looking like Kakko's going to get a bridge deal, which is kind of the other news that there was there. He's going to get a bridge deal with the Rangers. Will he be playing for the Rangers next season? We don't know, because him and Kravtsov, again, apparently are up for trade on the market right now. And to me, I don't have an issue with it. I know people do have an issue with Kakko being on the market. I think Chytil is also being looked at in trades. And again, he's another one. He looked really good in the playoffs, but I'm just worried that this was one of his hot streaks. I'm not ready to go, all right, well, yeah, we should definitely trade. To me, I'm driving him to the airport if you could get a clear upgrade. However, I don't have any problem with Chytil staying here as long as he's the third line center. I don't like Ranger fans jumping overboard and saying we could just promote him to the second line center. I think that's a bit extreme, but I also don't think that we have to ship him out of town. To me, it's either or. Either he's here as a third line center, or if he's going to be the second line center, all right, what are we doing here? I'd prefer for him to not be here then at that point. But for him, I think he's the least likely out of those three to get traded. Kravtsov, who just signed a contract with the Rangers at the end of the season, actually. I think it was right as the season ended he signed. And he signed it prior, I'm pretty sure. It's just that they had to wait to make it official. And with him, I'd like to see him get an opportunity here. But if he, again, is another guy that brings in a win now move player, then you do it. And I don't have a problem with it at that point. But it's going to be interesting to see. I'm not sure what Kravtsov's trade value is at all. I really don't know, because what do teams see in Kravtsov? Maybe the Montreal Canadiens, because of the Jeff Gordon ties, might have some interest there. But that's pretty much it that I could think of. And I don't know if there's really anyone on Montreal either way that I want. I know Christian Dvorak's name has been thrown around, but no thanks to me. And then Kakko, I know people don't want to move him. They're scared that he's going to become a superstar and break out elsewhere. If he does, to me, it's a scenario where it's just, I don't see it working here, honestly. And if he stays, I'm rooting for him. And I'm rooting for him no matter what. I hope he succeeds and proves me wrong here. But if we trade him at the same time, I'm not going to complain, because that means that the Rangers are probably getting a clear upgrade at right wing, at center, on defense. If you have an opportunity to flip him to get yourself a Pierre-Luc Dubois, to get yourself a Alex DeBrincat of the world, I really do not have a problem, and I'd drive Kakko to the airport at that point personally. And I know that it's not the popular opinion, and I know people are probably going to crucify me for thinking that way. But that's just the way that I feel about it. I just don't think that Kakko is necessarily going to break out here. But obviously, I'm rooting for myself to be wrong on that front there. He still has time. I know he's only 21 years old, but getting a little worrisome. I'm not going to lie. It's getting a bit worrisome with him. But let me know what you guys think about the Nazem Kadri rumors, what you guys think about the trade request from Georgiev, Gauthier, and who out of those three that I mentioned, being Kravtsov, Chytil, and Kakko, who would you in order want to move, in terms of who would you would move to not want to move out of all of that? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And I guess the last bit of news that there really was, the Rangers inquired about Pierre-Luc Dubois, and apparently reports are saying that a starter has to be someone like Braden Schneider, Kakko, or Chytil. And to me, if it's Braden Schneider, if they're going to trade Braden Schneider, yeah, then we got some problems here, because Braden Schneider is someone that you need on this team to win. He is a playoff type player, and that's what I freaking love about him. To me, Schneider is definitely untouchable. I wouldn't move anyone from that blue line unless it's Jacob Trouba or Patrick Nemeth. Me, I'd prefer to keep Zach Jones, prefer to keep Niels Lundqvist, but you can move them. But in terms of Schneider, Miller, Lindgren, Fox, I think that those four need to be untouchable. But let me know all your thoughts with everything in the comment section. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Ranger fans. Turn the notifications on, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go Rangers, baby.